we interviewed Manipur Congress chief, who went on record saying that he is completely averse to a separate administration, a demand which is being made by you, but not by you, but by many in the intelligentsia, many social activists and Kuki leaders, that separate administration is one of the big solution. When the Congress chief, Manipur chief, says this, then how hopeful are you with the visit of Rahul Gandhi? Do you see any inherent contradiction?
Oh, thank you. Obviously, there is a contradiction. Why? Because the visit of Rahul Gandhi, as I said, is symbolic in nature, and it doesn't assure us of the solution. Solution will come from the center, from the ruling government only. So his visit is a symbolic. It's a message saying that, if the opposition can take interest in a small state like Manipur and its violence that has spiraled out of control, obviously the ruling government has also taken keen interest. Now, I cannot imagine nothing more than that. Now, coming to the issue of, before I come to the issue of separate administration, I'd like to a little bit highlight the problem that is still ongoing in Manipur. Yesterday, we see the colony, Vaipai colony in Fall, which is in Mantripukri. It's a Kuki inhabited area, settlement, was razed to the ground, was burned down again. That too in the full view of security. Now, and you just highlighted that early today in the morning, there was fighting and exchange of fire at Thangminlal village in, this is in area in Leimakong, which is in Kampupi district. So it's a Kuki inhabited area, and the attack is coming from the valley. So when this sort of, violence continues to emanate from the valley towards the peripheries of the state where the Kukis are inhabiting, and at the same time, parallelly, you're talking about peace and harmony. I mean, how are we going to ever accept that? And at the same time, how are we ever going to trust? Because trust is earned. You have to first earn our trust. The chief minister has failed. And look at the valley mothers, the Meira Paibis, and the drama that is unfolding in the valley. See, it is very hard. It is very hard to trust. And if there is no resemblance of trust, and if there is no iota of trust, talking about peace is next to impossible. Now, coming to the idea of separate administration, whenever there is a talk about separate administration, many people take it otherwise. To me, as I viewed, the problem of Manipur has one solution. And that one key or one way solution is to separate the two. Now, when I say separation, I mean separation has already been done geographically, topographically, ever since the time Manipur became, let's say, the part of India in 1972. And today there is physical separation, and emotional separation has also already taken place. Now it is the center to recognize and acknowledge these administrative separation and political separation. That's all. Now it is very, very difficult to accept from the other side, saying that you're speaking or you're vouching against the integration of the state of Manipur. Now, one way you don't want separate administration, but on the other side, you're still poking from the back. It's like a thorn in the flesh that cannot be contained anymore. Now, separate administration is the only demand of the civil societies, of the Kuki community and their leaders. And so is also, the same is also echoed by the masses, the common people. Now, Congress chief saying separate administration is not the solution and that they cannot think about it. I feel so also, as I view to my mind, that the urge for separate administration is so strong, so vehement that any step towards peace at this hour or dialogue at this hour seem to be impossible. Now, Zanda, what is the way forward? The Kukis have been demanding time and again, implement president's rule, invoke president's rule in the state. Now, what has the state government done again? They have revoke all UPSPA law in the entire valley, and then again imposed UPSPA in the entire hill district. Now, this sort of segregation is happening. But look at the violence that is happening in the state. You see, despite the revoking of UPSPA, the valley is still boiling. The valley has a problem. See, if you look into it is the army, it's the Indian army, it's the paramilitary forces that is trying its best. And I would like to rebut those people claiming that the Indian army is acting biased in a biased manner. No, they're doing their best from both sides. And it is the valley mobs that is targeting the hill valleys. And that's where the army paramilitary forces comes in. And that way they're not able to go and attack. And that's how violence spiral up, and there is a problem that is emanating from the valley. Whereas you will not see this kind of semblance in the hill district. So you can judge. Any rational human being can judge where and how and why things are happening today in Manipur. And at this hour, I'm a scholar, by the way, and I look at things in a very rational way. And if you're talking about peace, tranquility, dialogue at this hour, and you're poking others and doing things otherwise, but saying something else and doing something else, I don't think there will be trust ever built between between the two communities. And obviously, as I have vouched for separate ministry from the time I appeared in your news channel, I like to reiterate again, it is good and best to separate. And what kind of separation? The cookies feel that, union territory with legislature is the best option. And if we cannot live together under one roof, if we kill each other, instead of killing each other under one roof and as one family, living together as a family, it is best to separate and remain good neighbors and contribute towards the welfare of each other, and at the same time in a larger picture contribute to the integration of India and towards the welfare of India as